Christine and I are here live on Amazon. I'm D. Scott Smith. We are going to have fun talking about thriving in your empty nest. This is a comprehensive guide. Hey, it is an opportunity. When the children move out, you've got your opportunity to learn, to expand, to grow, and to thrive. And that's what we're all about. We are here to help you with tips, tricks, books, products, things that you need to know to be successful as you move into and thrive in your empty nest. Welcome to our Amazon Live show. And there we are, dancing and dancing. Hey, I'm D. Scott Smith, and I am here live with Christine A. Smith. And I love the little video at the beginning because it's that little snapshot from the wedding to the child to them growing up and graduating and moving into their own place, leaving us to be empty nesters.
I remember when those pictures were taken, there was water as well, a whole wall. There was a waterfall in the background. We were on the bench. We must have asked just some passerby to
I think our daughter
take our picture.
Took those pictures. Yeah.
Oh, were we on a vacation with kids? See, it's been a couple of weeks and I forget.
Well, and that's just for the folks. And I just say thank you for watching. We do have some folks tuning in here. I know that in my video, I said that it's the comprehensive guide. It's the ultimate guide. We're going to do this every week, except when we don't. But every Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. for those of you on the East Coast. Christina and I are going to be here sharing the journey and adventure because we have become empty nesters recently.
Very. And I do remember walking on the beach, but I suppose we'll have to dance on a beach too to go along with that because we want to be authentic and trustworthy.
I love it. So we have products and we've got suggestions and we've got tips, we've got books, we've got things that we're going to talk about. But this is the inaugural show. This is the first one that we've done. And so thank you for joining us here on Amazon Live. And although we've got books in the carousel to begin with and podcasts and other items, I am going to jump to the very first item in the carousel that I think is important because it was part of our transition, and that is the portable hot tub.
I really think we should have me in the tub doing a show, but only this from here up showing. But I like pushing the buttons.
It was that hot tub is great, the portable hot tub, and I know we've got the one that I liked the best, and it fit really well on our patio. Was this oval one? So they'd say 2 to 4 people. I would say 1 to 2 people realistically. If you have very small people, maybe you can get 4 people in there. Maybe it's a wading pool. But you could not broadcast from there with the jets because the air jet on this portable hot tub was amazing.
Our adult daughter goes, "Mom, these jets are legit."
Hey, so again, we are talking about what it's like to be empty nesters, and that's one thing is we didn't just wake up one morning and go, "Hey, where are all the kids?" You, Christine, were actually helping me to prepare and plan for this for several years. Is our daughter was in that transition, had moved out. and our son was getting ready to graduate. I mean, he was still in high school, but you were looking at downsizing and kind of planning, organizing stuff, all of our keepsakes and memorabilia. That
Mhm.
was it really did result, the end result where we are today is the end result of a lot of planning that took place.
Yeah, I would have said that downsizing was twofold, that maybe you have less square footage that you're walking around on as well as less items, but now I'm going to say it's threefold, that you just
Mhm.
want to be very intentional about the items that you bring in and not get rid of everything that has emotional value from years past, but
Mhm.
that's what we are literally doing. We're going through, keeping those things that really reflect who we've been, but not so many of them.
Mhm.
And now we are finding, we're shopping Amazon, we're shopping locally to get some ideas
Mhm.
and finding out that we're both really happy with something completely different and much less large family, lots of storage, that sort of a
Mhm.
thing. It's like, how about less storage so that we can pack efficiently
Mhm.
or choose very selectively and really enjoy what we have and not forget that we have it because it's at the back of a closet. So
Oh my gosh.
Amazon's great for
Yeah.
that.
Exactly. And just to let people know, so this hot tub, and I will just say,
Mhm.
husbands, as you are out there thinking about getting ready for that transition into being an empty nester, and Christine, you were a caregiver not just to our children, but as a professional. And
Mhm.
as we talk more about empty nesting in the coming weeks, as we continue this series on Amazon Live, we'll be talking a little bit more about caregiving, but I'm going to talk
Mm.
specifically to the husbands. Uh, it has probably been your wife who has done a lot of the caregiving with your children, and when they go away, there could be a gap there, and so pay attention. And I will just say, buy her a hot tub if that's her thing. Because I knew, so for last Christmas, we knew that within 6 to 12 months, we were going to be empty nesters, and I know that a hot tub for my wife is a a huge joy. It's one of those things when we go on vacation. You saw some of those vacation pictures at the beginning. That a hot tub is always a place that my wife will gravitate to. So
Mhm.
I knew that for a small investment, we were able to get that and put that in the house, set up that hot tub. By the way, then we've got it highlighted in the carousel. It literally, I opened it up, and in 10 minutes, it was set up and ready to go. Put the garden hose in it. It took, a while to fill it up. So it all depends on how fast your hose goes. Turned on the heater, and overnight it was ready to go the next day.
Mhm.
So it really is a portable hot tub.
It
And I
worked
also
the
have,
first time. The
yeah.
setup wasn't like, "Oh, no, now we gotta do this again."
Mhm. Now, the other thing that I did put in the carousel is the filters, because this hot tub needs filters that you need to clean them, you need to replace them, and I will say the instructions weren't really clear about what kind of filters to get, and
Mhm.
so I have the right filters that go with this hot tub in the carousel. So when you click on it, just go ahead and either add those to your cart now or put them in your list, save them in your lists so that you know where they are and you can come back and get them later because it does need to be cleaned. I should put the chemicals in there too that you used um, to treat it, Christine.
Yes, did you get those on Amazon?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, and they're not
Everything.
in the
Yeah.
carousel?
I'll
Yeah,
have to.
that
I'll
was
get them. I'll add them into the store
oh, I could
so that
tell
people
I
can
could tell
find
you
them.
so much about, slipping in. It was easy to get in and out because it's so soft and it's not too tall and I have short
Hmm.
legs. So slipping in and out, and every time that I slipped in, I thought, excuse me, I mean got in easily. Every time I
Hmm.
got in easily, and it was so comfortable, and I thought, why did I skip this yesterday? Why didn't I do this yesterday? The filters are absolutely, you have to keep up on that. So you unscrew them, you rinse them out under the sink faucet, and you screw them back on, and they've got little socks that go over them to, I
Mhm.
don't know why, I guess to protect that paper fold inside. But
Right.
without guessing any more, it was bubbles or no bubbles, temperature up or down.
Mhm.
And there was a light that would flash once in a while to remind me, hey, you didn't clean those filters, did ya?
Yeah, it was a real joy, and I'll tell you, even taking it down to pack it up and move it, it wasn't hard. It was very easy to go ahead and drain that out and let it air dry so that you know, you weren't going to pack any mold in there. And
Right.
then it came in a bag. We just rolled it up, put it in the bag, and
Hmm.
it's ready to go. This particular one, the the um, the pump and the heater and everything are all integrated into the wall, so it doesn't have an extra. The
Hmm.
footprint isn't any bigger than the hot tub itself.
Yes, it's just a rectangular unit that is part of the whole thing. But it comes with the option of a little side table that's got two little circles there for your cups to sit in.
Hmm.
And I think there were just a few other additions that helped with the draining or the initial. You turned on the unit itself, and that's
Hmm.
what blew it up. And then the
Exactly.
same unit
Hmm.
gives you the bubbles with the
Yep.
water. And oh, I tell you, with the right cleaning with that
Hmm.
jug that lasted forever because it only took a little bit.
Yeah,
It
like
was great. Oh, and
tablespoon,
it came with a
teaspoon.
cover. Kept all the
Oh,
dust
right.
out and all the
Hmm.
bugs out because it comes
Yep.
with a cover that snaps down.
Yes, it even kept our kitty out because Cheeto would like to jump up onto that cover because, of course, the water's warm and it was winter, and so he'd be up on
Mhm.
there. So I'm just saying, husbands, think about what as you're moving into the whole empty nester phase. Think about what it is that is special for your wife, and go ahead and do that. In our case, it was the hot tub, and then also what I've got Christine highlighted in the
Mhm.
carousel is a pair of glasses. These are not reading glasses, but these are a pair of drinking glasses. One for you and one for me.
I don't know if you have yours. I do not know if you have yours right now.
Oh, I should
Is
have got
it?
it. I actually have my uh,
Uh,
to stay hydrated. I brought in the Star
oh.
Trek mug. So
This is there's it comes in a set, correct?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so this is mine and his is the tall pint glass.
Hmm.
And if you can't read it, I could have put something darker in here,
Mm,
but it is mom off duty. And that would
yes.
follow me out to the hot tub. And it
Hmm.
follows me wherever I need to be. And it's summertime right now as we're recording, and very good time to hydrate.
Hmm. Yeah, maybe a little Moscato in there or something is perfect for my wife in the
Yes,
glass,
one
and then the
size
pint
fits
glass.
all.
Hmm.
Whatever you
That's
pour
right.
in there will be the right size.
And the pint glass, dad off duty. It's it's perfect for Guinness. I just tell you, I can pour the Guinness, get the perfect foam on top, and it is beautiful. So mom off duty and dad off duty. Those uh, I bought those for us again for at Christmas time because I knew we were coming into the whole empty nester phase,
Mhm.
and it's just kind of it was just fun. It's just kind of fun to think about uh, being without the children. Not that we don't miss them, because we certainly do, but it's an opportunity, and that's what we said in that opening video. And Christine, I'm going to run all the way back up to the beginning of the carousel because there is a book there.
Oh,
And one of the things that we tell people in preparation for empty nester, and I think this is going to be a joint book. I think that we're going to write a book and publish this one as well, because uh, on Amazon, I'm just going to tell you guys, look, if you want to write a book, whether you're an empty nester or not, of course, we're speaking to empty nesters. If you want to write a book, kdp.amazon.com, set up your account, write your book. You can publish it right there. It's free. Do it. And this is a great way to start to fill in that void when the children move out, when you become an empty nest couple, and
Mhm.
when you go, okay, what do I want to do now? And just like Christine, I know that so many of you have so much experience. You've run events, you've managed programs and children's events and family events, and managed a job and career and all of that together. You have so much to add that you should take that information and capture it into a book. And that's what we have highlighted right now is the Act of Aging, Volume 1. And Christine, go ahead and tell us about the Act of Aging.
Well, it is a Kindle book. And it was recommended by my husband that I make it a Kindle so that there can be, well, parts in there where I'm actually talking to you. You can click on the hot link and go to my video, and I can talk to you about, well, some of the general aspects of continuing to live, which I call the third of your life. And it coincides pretty well with empty nesting. It also coincides well with people who feel that they are still providing a lot for either their kids, for their grandkids, for their own parents. So here is a short read and an opportunity to think about your own self and how you want to be proactive about aging well, about understanding that it includes emotional reactions and it includes some careful cultivation of your relationships. You don't want to just drop all your relationships, and that can happen. You can probably ask 3 couples, and 2 of them would say, "Wow, we had to learn how to have friends again," because it seemed like everything was directed more towards those eggs in the nest. But now they've flapped their wings and they're gone. And we need to get together with people not based upon who's going to drive them home and whether the game is here or there, or whether you're giving driving lessons or something like that. So here's an opportunity to just know more about your own future and prepare ahead of time for it, because you're already doing that with your finances and you're already looking into fitness for the future, and you're looking at just a lot of, like Scott said, downsizing, are we upscaling, are we going to be closer or farther from people that are important to us? Just all these things. And if you can't go on a vacation for whatever your first year of retirement or empty nesting, then you can hop into that hot tub. Oh, we're not talking about the hot tub anymore, but I am.
We're not, but there's a picture of those glasses for people to take a look
Very
at.
good. Yep.
I just love them. I just thought those were great, and it was kind of again, you were working on this for years, really, to help us downsize. And what did we do? We knew it was coming, and about a year after our son graduated, we sold the house, and we moved from our house that we had been in for 11 years, and we moved into an apartment. And so that meant we needed to do some other things, like do some furniture shopping. And I know you're sitting at your desk, and I'm going to
That you
pull
just
up.
put together.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up. This is going to be
For years,
Mhm.
our the way that we did our house reflected where we had come from as far
Mhm.
as our growing up years. So that was very reflected. And then as you continue to age, you have inheritance. You inherit these pieces of furniture and these items for decor that would be up on the walls. Notice my walls are quite empty right now. We haven't gotten rid of everything, but we're being picky and choosy. And
Mhm.
so this desk, and you just highlighted that, is nice and airy. It isn't that big, heavy with lots of, nooks and crannies that just get crammed full of things I don't even know are back there. Cleaning out the nooks and crannies of my desk was a
Mhm.
day and a half project. Why did I keep this? So yeah, we're being more selective about what will we store and what really matters. And let's toss this. We're getting in the habit of tossing. But I did notice that even though my husband has always said, I don't enjoy shopping, I like buying. I
Yeah, it's
believe
the
that
it's
when he
the
gets
the
on
thrill of the hunt.
Amazon, yeah, when he gets on Amazon, and I saw him do this with the wedding upcoming, which was just less than a year ago,
Mhm.
that he enjoyed shopping with me on one screen and him on another screen, and both clicking away, trying to beat each other to the next possibility of things to get for the kids, for the
Yep.
wedding, for, we're going to have to think about their anniversary right after our anniversary.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. So I wanted to put that desk, I highlighted in the carousel. And, we were married in the '80s, and so it
Mhm.
was a lot of oak. There was a lot of oak
Oak,
in the
oak,
'80s.
heavy
And we
oak.
had we had heavy every we had the big oak table and chairs, and we had, oak coffee table and oak frames. I don't remember I don't know how many oak frames you bought over time.
Oh, wow. Oh,
And
so
and so
many
we
pictures,
had
and
to
they
change,
all
yeah.
had to be up on the wall.
Mhm. Yep. And then, the other thing, and I don't know, I'm gonna put this off for a moment. The other thing that we did is we got rid of the big oak table, and we
Mm,
went with this, Skempton table. And now
mm,
this one shows the 6 chairs and the table. But what I really liked about this particular one was that in that table, and we don't really get a good close up of it here, but there is storage in the table. So there's
yes.
2 drawers on the side, and then on each end,
Mhm.
the top of the table actually flips up and put stuff in there. So you could put silverware, you could put linens, napkins in there. For us, table games.
Mhm. Deck of cards. In fact, one gentleman commented, "The Monopoly goes right here." And I'm like, "You said it." So we haven't gotten rid
That's
of
right.
everything out of our past.
That's right. Yeah. So we had to get so we also had to get, we have to order the bench yet because I neglected to do that when I ordered the rest of it, but we will order the bench. The bench
Mhm.
also has storage in there, which is kind of cool. So you want to be
It's
able
kind
to
of like a
just,
piano bench,
yeah, exactly.
but plenty of room for
And
two people to sit very comfortably on one side of the table. And with the size of our apartment, it
yeah.
is great to be able to tuck the table almost to the wall for when
Mhm.
it's, as we keep saying, it's just us.
Yes.
When it's
Yes.
just us, then we can put it almost to the wall and then slide out the
Yeah.
table to to accommodate, because we do allow the kids to come to our new nest.
That's right. And as we were preparing for the empty nest, we talked about getting rid of some things, but also adding some things. And there was something that our son got for us on Amazon
Yes.
that I was a little skeptical of, um, until I read the instructions and cooked my first batch of chicken wings in there. And that's the Ninja. Now this is everything. It's it's the it's the air fryer. Now, a lot of people love the I heard air fryers. Oh, it's the great. You got to get an air fryer. I'm thinking it's another fad. Uh, And then my son bought that for us,
Mhm.
and it's a pressure cooker as well as the air fryer and baker. And I mean, there's so many different things that it does. The interior liner is very nonstick. Then it's got a
Yes.
wire rack in there that's got two positions easily. So depending on what you cook in there, and then it's got another one across the top for like vegetables or potatoes or things that you want to cook, or
Yeah, you don't
fish.
want it to fall between the
You don't want it to
wires.
fall between. Yeah.
Yeah.
My
I
favorite
think it
though.
was really wise. I think it was really wise to allow our son to have his full-time job and live for free at our house so that he could see
Mhm.
what we needed. And
Yeah,
he loved it, of course. But
yeah.
you wanted to say one more feature.
Well, I was gonna say that it's been great to have the, bacon, cooked bacon in this thing.
Yes, you said that the interior pan is nonstick. I mean, it is wipe, rinse it with some soapy water, you know, and the final just drying it out and putting that back in. I'm going, oh, all nonstick should be this good.
Mhm.
And they've just built it right. It cooks the right way. You guys have, figured out how many slices and how you want to lay it on there to get maximum baconage.
Yeah, and no splatter. And,
Yeah.
for those people who have cooked bacon, if you have, like, a really good, some sort of, exhaust fan in your kitchen, great. But for the most part, when you cook bacon, there's just a lot of grease hanging in the air. And when we
Mhm.
put it into the Ninja, I mean, this is really cool. You put the bacon in, you turn on air crisp, you hit 330 for the temperature, like 12 minutes, and you go do something else. You don't have to turn it, you don't have to do anything. And you get perfect bacon out of there.
Yes, and perfectly clean.
Mhm,
I don't put the interior pot that collects everything, I don't
mhm,
put it in the dishwasher, but the
no,
other parts wash up perfectly and they're
mhm.
just ready. So it's like its own little storage unit. And it comes with a second lid for pressure cooking.
Pressure cooker. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep.
fast, quick.
Yeah.
So whoop,
So, mhm.
you flip that out,
The
you
instructions are
kind of
really
change
easy.
out.
Yeah. And it looks cool in the
Yeah,
kitchen. We've got black countertops
it
and white
does.
cabinets and, stainless steel appliances, and so
Uh-huh.
this looks good. We don't have to hide it away.
I know. It's kind of like, hey, it's kind of like the apartment builders said, they might have one of those foodie ninja jobbies. And if I remember correctly, they have the brushed stainless steel with black. So let's make sure
Mhm.
that it looks really good on the counter. We don't put it away. We talked about, finding the storage spot and putting it away. It's like it gets used
Mhm.
probably 9, 10 times a week because
Oh,
it
yeah,
is quick
easily.
cleanup and splatters all over
Easily.
the stove. Doesn't happen.
Mhm. Yeah, easily, because, I'll use it, like I said, we'll cook bacon or something in the morning, and then, right before we came live on here, I threw some brats in there, and so we could just
Mhm.
get those cooked up, before we came on live. And again, if you're doing them on a grill or in a pan, you gotta stand there, and you gotta turn them and turn them and turn them. uh, just put them in
Yeah, you
and
make
let them
great
go.
great breakfast in there because you chop the baby potatoes and just,
Mhm.
coarse chop them and coarse chop some onions and pop it in there.
Yep.
It's gotta be healthy too. I mean, I can't
Mhm.
prove that it's healthy, but it's gotta be healthy to use the heat rather than lots of other things to keep
Yeah.
it from sticking. So,
And I use a little olive oil on those potatoes, and it's just, they tell me
perfect.
olive
That's
oil
very
is good.
healthy.
So,
Yeah.
hey, speaking of that,
Mhm,
I was looking and thinking we were gonna talk, a little bit about the tech, because we do get questions because, of course, you have,
mhm.
a couple of video podcasts that you do, and,
Yeah.
as we get going into this whole series of what it's like to be an empty nester, how do you we're there. We are there, just to let everyone know. we became empty nesters like 2 weeks ago.
Yes. Yes.
Just to kind of put it in perspective, this month we became
It
empty
was.
nesters.
Yeah. I think the 11th was.
Yeah. All right. So, empty nesters. One of the things you've got to do is take care of your health. And one of the things that I have is this little box, and I've got it highlighted in the carousel, but it is a little blood pressure tester. And
Mhm.
now the ones that go on your upper arm, the cuff type, probably a little bit more accurate than these that go around your wrist. But I have actually taken this into the doctor's office,
Wow.
and they did the one on the cuff, the high tech doctor version, and this one, the home version, uh, and it was close enough to say this number is helping me keep track. So before I go to the doctor, I this does have a memory, and so
Mhm.
I can check the blood pressure and keep track, and then take those numbers in and just write them down and give them to the doc so they can see how are things doing, what are we doing to monitor it. And so you used these as well when you were a caregiver with some of your adult.
Right. I
Uh,
used
yes.
both. I used both. It is
Yeah.
important to have the accurate numbers when decisions are being made medically. It
Mhm.
is very helpful to know if there are huge fluctuations in your your
Mhm.
numbers, and that's what the wrist one will give you and will give the doctors. Have there been fluctuations? Does it have anything to do with this factor or that factor?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that is quick, and it isn't. I don't know, it's not as bothersome, because if it's
Mhm.
wintertime, you're wearing long sleeves and everything, that's a bit of a bother. And I did do that kind, and it was probably more painful for
Mhm.
some of the people for various reasons, and to do the upper arm one. So
Mhm.
I it would the tendency would be to avoid it if it hurts, if it's uncomfortable.
Right.
So this one, it's quick. It's just like somebody holding on to you and then they
Mhm.
let go. That's
Yeah, it just
really
goes around
nice.
your wrist, right where you would wear your wristwatch. And so I sit down and put it on, do a quick check. And the other thing is bathroom scale. I like this one. It's
Yeah.
very low
Mhm.
uh, visibility. It's clear, so it blends in with the floor. It has a big, bright digital readout. So in low light, without glasses, you can actually see what the numbers are. And so we're just saying, look, as you're moving into this third of your life, as my wife says, uh, becoming empty nesters, take care of yourself. Uh,
Mhm.
and so I'm checking my blood pressure, I'm checking my weight, and trying to do the things that will allow me to continue to enjoy being an empty nester with my wife.
Yes. It's a motivator. It's a
Mhm.
motivator of, will I go and take that walk? I'm looking out the window because I am ready to take my walk after we're done. And it's
Yeah.
such a motivator to see numbers,
Mhm.
because the numbers are just facts. They're not an opinion. They're not, um, you know, it is just for you to take a peek at and go, hey, that is actually a
Mhm.
healthier number. Why would I stop taking care of myself? Or that's not the number I want to see. And I know what to do to make
Mhm.
that number change to what I'd rather know about myself. So
So in that
it's great.
whole business world, Tom Peters, In Search of Excellence and Thriving on Chaos, and a number of different things, projects that he's been involved in, he says that which gets measured gets done. That which gets measured gets
Ooh.
done. So keeping an eye on my blood pressure, keeping an eye on my weight,
Mhm.
uh, gives me it's getting measured, and so I'll do the things like go for a walk. So today, instead of driving to the post office, I walked to the post office,
Yay.
and Those
You
are
also walked to
comfort
a
things.
U-Haul
I
place.
did walk to the U-Haul.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's part of moving. Oh my
Woo.
goodness, that's our go-to.
Yep, yep. And then I've also got highlighted in the carousel just the memory foam mattress cover. It was actually one that we
Yeah.
got for our daughter
Mhm,
because mattress is an important thing. Memory foam is wonderful, and you
mhm.
sleep with the memory foam pillow, and to get the memory foam topper for the bed was just it was a inexpensive investment as opposed to replacing the mattress, and certainly replacing a mattress with a memory foam type mattress is really
Mm.
expensive. So getting just the topper is a good idea.
I remember
So
the
yeah.
mattress simply wasn't as comfortable for her, and we
Mhm.
said, "How about if we give this a try?" Because sometimes laying down in a store, you're just not going to relax your body.
Right.
You're not really, and of course it's all new. So, maybe that feels good. Maybe it does. You're basing it on nothing.
Right.
Is this going to work for me for 8 hours? So,
Mhm.
yeah, getting that and being able to cover over and relaxing into it. Yeah, she was sold. Absolutely sold. So you have that in the carousel.
I got it in the carousel, and it is actually right next to the glucosamine with chondroitin and MSM.
Yay!
And I'm a purist. I like the MSM, just MSM, methyl sulfonylmethane, MSM. And I say that because I can. And I will tell people that I practiced that methyl sulfonylmethane. Get your MSM. It's for joints. And so
Yeah.
a while back, it was funny because as I was walking down the stairs, I thought it was my shoelace was like the little plastic tip. I don't know what you call that, but I know there's a name for the little plastic tip on the end of your shoelace. And I thought it was hitting and making a little clicking noise. Turned out it was my ankle that was making the clicking noise as I went down the stairs. At the a recommendation of somebody who knows what they're talking about, said, Scott, try some methyl sulfonylmethane. I said, what? He said, oh, some MSM. Oh, okay, get that. And very inexpensive. But you use the one with chondroitin and
Yes,
glucosamine,
glucosamine, chondroitin,
also
and
fish oil,
yeah,
and
and a neighbor, I said, "Yeah, it's just not really working. Does it have the chondroitin,
mhm,
glucosamine with it?" And
right,
I'm going, "No, I did not see that on that bottle. I was borrowing from my husband."
uh-huh,
So, I'm definitely a champion of the stuff that works and following the instructions. So with food,
mhm,
if that's what it says, I'm not going to say one way or another, but if it says with food, if it says not with milk, if it says
right,
with a full glass of water, and if it says 3 times a day, then that is actually nicer to my empty nester
right.
mama body
Yep.
to
I'm
to
gonna
follow instructions.
I'm gonna put another thing up here on the screen, and this was something that I actually did 3.5 years ago.
Mhm.
So for people that follow Simon Sinek and his great TED Talk, How Great Leaders Inspire, and he talked about the Golden Circle and all these different things. But if you follow Simon Sinek, one of the things he says is, do not take your phone into the bedroom. And a lot of people, oh, but it's my alarm clock. And this is like, that's an excuse. Spend a few bucks and get a battery powered alarm clock. Leave your phone out of the bedroom. And I'm just going to tell people that this is one of those things that as you're, this isn't just for empty nesters, but look, don't bring your phone to the bedroom. Just leave it in the living room, in your car, in the office, something. Don't bring it in the bedroom. Get a little tiny clock like this. It's battery powered. Um, anyway,
Yeah, it's better for your mind. It's better for your mind. It's better for your relationship.
mhm,
It is better to go in rhythms in your life. So this thing doesn't say tick tick tick. It does ring, and you do have the option to go to snooze. So if you really like tech, you've got not ringing, ringing, and ringing again. So
Yeah.
that's about as techy as it's going to get. But it is analog, and that's good for your mind to actually not think digital all the time. I
Mhm.
sound like a school teacher because I was for 16 years.
Yes.
And I highly recommend it just for making that break and having that rhythm part of your life where you just go, I'm not going to say go dark because it makes it sound like dark ages,
Mhm.
like nobody knows anything, but just go and be something else for a while and be able to come back, because even in this time, if all we did was stare at our technology and talk to you about technology, we would run
Mhm.
out of things to say. But instead, we've actually talked to each other and sat by each other and sipped with each other and gone for walks with each other. And sometimes we don't have any screens at all. So when we come back to it, we're fresh.
Yeah. And that was one of the things that you challenged me to. Well, I don't know if you challenged me. This is one of the things that you said you were going to take on as a
Mm.
challenge. And I said, well, I want to do that too. And that is the 75 days, every day, read a paper book, something in
Mhm.
paper, and go outside.
Mhm.
So,
There's one more.
oh,
There's
one
3
more
things.
thing.
The
Okay.
other thing was to, and so you're deciding that on yourself. You decide what
Correct.
the book is, how much you're gonna read. When you go outside, you decide what you're gonna do, but it's outside, not just
Mhm.
always inside, which is really easy for solopreneurs, for people who enjoy, and I really am enjoying doing these sorts of things. But there was one more, and that was to choose basically your menu, to choose
Mm. Oh,
healthy
yeah.
eating. And it's up to you whether you achieved that goal that day or not. And so you have to do it for 75 days. Well, that sounds terrible. 75 days. Okay, I'm already going to fail. Well, failure is built in. The fail safes are built in. It's
Mhm.
simply this: if you fail that day, then start the 75 over again. I venture to
Beautiful.
guess that the person who follows that challenge is going to forget to keep count. But what they are going to have is muscle memory, and that desire is going to grow, and the habit is going to be developed to the point where you're going, I don't know, is it like 115 days now or something? So,
Mhm.
yeah, just healthy
Yeah.
eating. Did you eat
And
something
it's
healthy?
Yeah, and it's one of those things where our friends that focus on mindset and
Mhm.
how to really train your mind so that you will do the things that you want to do, like read, like take a walk, like choose healthy options. And don't say, so what I don't want to say is I need to go take the walk, or I need to go walking.
I should walk.
Yeah, I should walk. What I need to say is, I'm a person who every day reads a paper book, who every day goes outside for a walk, who every day makes choices. I'm a person who makes healthy eating choices. And this
Yes,
is a
I'm a
mindset.
healthy eater,
Mhm.
I'm a walker, and I'm a reader.
I'm a reader. And this is one of the things why I highlighted this in the books and strengthening your marriage. Now this is good, and I can recommend this, but in general I want to tell you that you do need to focus on your relationships. And
Mhm.
in Christine's book, one of the things that she talks about is that you need to make decisions while your mind is clear, right? Your
Yep.
emotions are calm and your
Yes.
relationships are growing deeper. And
You
so,
got
as
it.
you're coming into that empty nester phase, whether you're looking at it in the bit of the future, there you're just now. I mean, we have just passed. We're probably standing on the threshold because we're only weeks into being empty nesters.
Mhm.
Uh, but and for those that have been in there for a while, uh, take time on your relationship. Make sure that you have focused
Mhm.
time and energy on that relationship.
Mhm. Hey, what if the person isn't married?
Mhm.
relationships are absolutely as important.
Yeah.
So, who is your confidant? Is it your
Mm,
bartender or your barista? Is it your
right.
neighbor or your niece or your nephew? Who are the people that you're going to with talking about how you're feeling right now in your empty nester or your retirement or your reinvention of yourself or
Hmm.
your second act, your third act? Who's that person that's listening to you? It was our daughter who said, "Mom, you've got to get some friends who are your age." I was caregiving. My best friends were in their 80s, 90s, and hundreds, and they
Hmm.
really were my friends. They
Yeah.
we had things to talk about, but I had neglected my own demographic. And I'm richer for having had my daughter say, "Mom, you need some friends your own age too."
Hmm. And so here is one of your friends, Nancy May,
Yeah.
and you've interviewed her for
Mhm.
your video podcast.
Yep.
She has been a guide and a mentor to you in launching your business. And
Yep.
again, just to remind people, we are here live on Amazon. We're talking about being empty nesters. We have the ultimate guide. There's all kinds of stuff. We've got products, books, ideas, tips,
Mhm.
tricks, things that we've learned. We're things that we're going to learn because we have just entered into this. We can count the days that we are now empty nesters out on our own. We've moved out on our own. It's kind of like we did when we left college and kind of went in
Yeah, and
our
the
own.
champagne is
We're there
still
now.
wet on the bow of this boat because
Yes,
it's been
yes.
so recent.
Mhm,
However, we've been working toward these moments for a while. Like you said, probably 3 years ago, I started saying, "Can we trim these 3 boxes of gotta keep it's down to 1?" And it's
mhm.
excruciating.
Yes.
And little by little, I literally heard a person this morning, because I've been online for a while, um, say, "We've been here a number of years, more than a dozen, and we're never going to move again because it's just too hard. And I'm not going to recommend moving or not moving, but what it did for us is that the boxes got heavier, even though we didn't even change some of the stuff in the boxes. You know,
Yes.
the plastic boxes full of things we have to keep, but it feels heavier
Mhm.
because our joints and everything are having to recuperate for a little longer.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, yeah. Nancy May, it has lived her entire life um, preparing for the future, becoming prepared, having all of the information where the whole family can find it, etc. She has been, I'll just say, corporate. She has been corporate most
Mhm.
of her adult life. And while she was providing the care for parents who were far away living where they wanted to be, but they absolutely had to have assistance to maintain their health and safety. She wrote that book with her husband. So
Mhm.
he's the other name on the cover, and he does not appear in pictures. She says he's extremely camera shy, but he's a very capable person and had a lot of expertise coming in on. So it's not 911, it's 911, what you would dial for medical emergency. And you know that that aging parent is going to have a ride in an ambulance.
Mhm.
So having all the information ahead of time, you got to go to her website. You got to get the free download. She's been this way her whole life, thanks to her parents, and now she's really putting it out there for everyone else to be more ready. But it's not just for aging parents, it's for us. So
Mhm.
I have been filling out information too, so that when your mind is not clear and your emotions are anything but calm, and you are either unable to think, or mixing up because you're in an emergency moment.
Mm-hmm.
All the information, all the facts are already printed and right there in front of you, and it's just a matter of updating once in a while rather than starting from scratch, because everyone has been in a waiting room or sitting at a computer and being asked pages of information about your medical health, or when was that surgery. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
it was between, I think it was between our second and our third child,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Having some
and
having instructions helps,
yeah,
and that's what you're talking about. So with the how to prepare for 911 emergencies, medical emergencies.
yeah.
That's Nancy May's book. This is one of the things. So just as an example, so we moved into a new apartment building, brand
Mhm,
new. We're only the fourth family to move into this building,
mhm.
so lots of emptiness, empty spaces, and the property management company has a lot to learn. So they go, "Here's your key. Here's the key to the mailbox." So I had to find out which mailbox it fit to, because they're not numbered according to your apartment,
Right.
for security reasons. And we've been here a week, so I thought, I'm going to go to the post office because we haven't got any mail yet, and find out. I'm standing in line at the post office, and I get in, my phone buzzes. I check. I get an email from the property management company who says, "Oh, by the way, you need to go to the post office to activate your mail." And sure enough, the local post office had all of our mail there. And the reason I bring this up, relative to the 911 deal,
Mhm,
is that
mhm.
there was no instructions. I was having to make it up as I went along. And fortunately, there was nothing critical in the mail that we were missing. But it's just an example of, when you have things written down, when you enter those unknown waters, you
Yeah.
have a chart to follow.
Yes, yes. Maybe well, I will say that we haven't moved, the two of us haven't moved into a rental in 30, almost 30. We are 1 month from
Hmm.
38 years. So
Hmm.
nearly 4 decades ago was the last time we moved into a rental. And
Right.
that's totally different than moving into the houses that we have been living in,
That's right.
that we
That we
bought.
bought or built. Yeah,
Right. So we're
exactly.
kind of used to that. We kind of knew the routine. And again, there was no one to hold our hand or to
Yeah.
say, now, do you need counseling on this? So it's great to have a book that you go, I did not know that.
Mhm.
Oh, that is good information. Hey, that's another moment when I'm not going to go, ah.
So my camera is a little wiggly here on my computer, and
Yeah.
I just want to cover a little bit of the tech, because we get questions, because
Mhm.
you're doing you have two video podcasts, you have
Yes.
written a book, you there's a lot of equipment that you use. You were definitely not the techie person
No.
coming into being an empty nester, although you have certainly embraced a measure of that. I, on the
Yeah.
other hand, love all this stuff. I grew up with microphones
Yes.
and gadgets and cameras and that stuff. And so people ask, what do we use? And I'll just tell you that the cameras that we use are not very expensive. And I have it highlighted in the carousel. The
Good.
Logitech um, has been a fabulous camera. The 920, and any one, I will just say, any one of the Logitech cameras. We got another version for our daughter, who's also doing video conferencing and shows. So she uses that as well in her business, in
Mhm.
her media business. So she's
Mhm.
involved in managing social media and doing that type of marketing stuff. So
Right. Content
the
writing.
yeah, and content writing. And so the Logitech camera is the one that both Christine and I use. And it is great. Now you can spend, and I will tell you, you can spend thousands of dollars on like a Sony camera, the mirrorless camera, beautiful. Uh,
Mm.
but it's just more to set up, and it's a lot more money. Uh, would I like to have one? Maybe Sony, if you're out there, someone, I will do a review for you. Absolutely. Logitech, I love these cameras. We've been using them for years. I think my Logitech camera, it has Carl Zeiss lenses. They don't make those anymore
Oh,
for Logitech. So it is it's probably 6 or 7 years old. So we've been using it a lot. Yours is much newer. Uh, and
so
and
you're telling
then
me they built it well?
they
The
built it
the
really
ones that
well.
they don't
Yeah.
that even have
Mhm.
components that aren't used anymore, that
That's right.
you're still very pleased with it. Although you're still setting up your office, and so
Yeah.
you had some wobble in your camera as you're trying to figure out
Yeah, a
what you
little
want to do.
wobble just
As
so
you can
people
see,
can
my
see.
office is got a long ways to go.
Little austere, little
I don't
austere.
even I don't even have my normal lights on yet because
Mhm.
this is just let's get
Ah,
this
natural.
going. You know, are we going to do this? Yes, we are. We're going to do Amazon together. So, let's just do it.
And just to let people know, different voices need different microphones.
Mhm.
And you have tried my microphone. You sound much better. For your voice is captured really well with that Samson microphone. And that's the
My
one I've got highlighted
soothing
there.
voice. It was Nancy May, the author, and a
Mhm.
lot of other things, who said, "Oh, you need to do an audiobook because you have a soothing voice, and I would want to listen to what you have to say."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think both of us have
So
been
thank you for getting me the right
blessed
one.
with some sort of a voice that works well for audio
Yeah.
transmission. I know I can put people to sleep, so that's a good thing. Maybe I should read nighttime. I could record nighttime stories for people.
Yeah,
But
he likes to read poetry. We aren't the same on a
yeah.
lot of things. I'm like, "I'm done with poetry after 1."
Well, I'll just say the Samsung microphone is good for you. I do use the
Yeah.
Shure SM7B. It's a microphone I got recently. It is one that I have looked at for years. And I
Mm.
was actually at a place that did demos of the microphones. And I was going through and I put on the headphones. So, I've got these are my AKG uh what are they, K240. These are really good reference headphones. I can recommend those. But I put the headphones on and I go down the line and I'm trying the different microphones and I get to the Shure SM7B and I'm like, ooh, that's the one. But you got to have a cloud lifter and you got to have an interface. The Scarlett Solo is the one I've been using again for a number of years. And so those are the things that I like. Those are some of the tech things that we use. And the other thing is, when you're doing video conferencing, and a lot of you out there have been doing Zoom for a couple of years now, have found out that if you use earphones or earbuds of some sort, that it's just better. You get less echo, and so we
Mhm.
use these. I've got them highlighted. These little in-ear uh, ones that go there. Now they're earbuds, but I
Yeah.
put the cable behind my neck, and so I can call them in-ear monitors, which sounds much cooler.
Yeah, I try to hide, it's as if, they're gonna be distracted. I don't
Mhm.
know that I'm distracted when I'm talking to a person who's wearing the headphones. I just think of them as being more serious than I
Mhm.
am. I wanna move around and I wanna, flip something out and go, "Look," I am absolutely sure my son got these on Amazon. We'll have to see. But, it just, these earrings, but, I wanna, I don't want that and earrings. A lot of times I have my hair back in a ponytail. I know this doesn't sound like Amazon talk, excuse me, Amazon talk to a lot of people, but I'm gonna change my hairstyle, and so I wouldn't wear them, but I when I see someone wearing them, I think, "Wow, they really
Mm.
wanna concentrate on being my interview guest, and they don't want any distractions," and I don't mind, if I notice something down the hallway, I might look, and think, "Oh, I'm back."
So I'll tell people that you can get the Logitech camera. That's what we have in the carousel. It's what we use. And but don't use your built-in microphone. And I'm just going to give a
Blech.
little demonstration.
Oh, it's
Um,
awful. It's
oh,
awful.
so this is using the Shure microphone with the Cloud Lifter and the Focusrite. And then if I switch out and I use the microphone on the camera, so this is actually a Logitech camera, and so you can kind of tell what the difference is. And I don't recommend it.
Oh,
Um, and
that it's like what people make fun of. It's like, it's like plus as
and
a as an older
exactly.
person, I want to hear what you're actually saying because if I don't get all of it, I fill in the gap with something else. And you're like, I did not say wallpaper. And I'm like, you said wall something. So I filled in the last word.
Yeah.
So, yes, I hear you clearly with these in ear monitors.
Yes, in-ear
And I
monitors.
hear
Sounds
you
cool.
much better when you've got your normal
Yeah. And
microphone.
so I think you should be hearing me through the computer microphone here, which
And I
again
am, and I can
sounds
tell
very
what you're
hollow.
saying, but yeah, it's roll.
Very hollow. And then you get a nice microphone.
Yeah.
There's lower noise, it catches your voice.
Mhm.
And so much of our communication is in the overtones of your voice. That's why talking on the phone
Yes.
was such a bad deal because you lost the overtones of people's voices. So get a good
Yes. This
microphone.
sounds like a personal conversation now instead
Mhm.
of sounding like I'm making an announcement to the entire school gymnasium.
Right. Yeah. So get a good microphone because people will put up with bad video a lot longer than they will bad audio. So get good
Oh.
audio. Yeah. And of course, I use the iPad. So I've got the iPad Pro is what I use to manage the show here on Amazon Live. And Christine and I are here every week, every Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. That's 7 p.m. for those of you on the other side of the continent, 3,000 miles away on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And
We've
7
been
p.m.
there.
probably. Yeah, absolutely. We had some
I
pictures
like
in
it
the
there.
we had some great pictures in the opening video of us. We were in Central Park. We were in
Yeah.
the Freedom Tower. Lots
Mhm.
of great photo ops. Beautiful family trip.
Yeah. We've also
Before
been
we
to
became empty
Florida.
nesters.
Yes.
One of the last things I want to talk about is as we go, and I'm going to put your book back in on the carousel.
Thank you.
And in the carousel, there is a number of different books that I've written,
Yeah.
and as well as 2 podcasts that I have. One of them is a publish your book. So in the carousel, you can find the book Influence Creation of Credibility. It is a process for you to publish a book, online course, and webinar in 12 weeks or less. So for those of you who think, I've got a book in me, but I don't know, get that book. In there's a course you can sign up for. It's free. The course is free. Buy the book, get the course for free. That's a good deal. And it'll help you write a book. And this is one of the things that I discovered. And Christine, I will say I'm going to let you have all the last words here as we run out for today. But one of the things that I found out was that is you go through these seasons of life, and the opening video we have kind of runs through that from getting married to having a baby to watching them grow and graduate and move out of the house, and then you become empty nesters. What I found was you go through those seasons. There was a time where every weekend in the summer, you and I were going to weddings of people that we knew. We did that for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Then they were all having kids, and we're at the hospital visiting them
Mhm.
with their newborns, and we're doing baby showers. And then everyone was graduating. Now all their kids are getting married, and now all of our friends are becoming like us, empty nesters. And I watched them, and both the men and the women, both members of the couple, whoever they were, whatever their role was in the caregiving, if they didn't have something to fill the void, it became very emotionally distressing.
Yes.
And I'm recommending doing what you did, have done, are doing, And I'm going to give you these last words because you have launched a business. You have written a book. You are writing another book that's going to be published. And I'm not going to put the date out there. I will let you talk all about that. But Christine, just go ahead and share what your journey has been like with this uh, as a part of your transition.
Ah.
And then you can sign us out.
Okey doke. So I have got to say, you do not have to wait until someone in the the parent role needs a hot tub. It works. It's as long as the kids are big enough and it's not making you nervous that there's a hot tub around, you can get that hot tub, because I called that place, that I said it was just a column of air that reached up into the sky where none of the bad stuff could come in. I wouldn't allow myself to think all those things. For a while, I thought it was really bad that my husband was saying, the things that you're talking about, you need to get online. We need to get a good camera. We need to have you record. We need to have you go live. And for all of that, I was like, no, that's a horrible idea. I don't want to do any of those things. I've not done them before. I'm not comfortable, etc. Well, you're probably going to think that because of pandemic shutdowns, I started to do all these things. Oh no, I just kept caregiving. Everything was still one-on-one, etc. But I agreed with my husband that the book that was in me, needed to come out, and there is more than one book. And so he guided me through that 12-week course. We took 1 month off. We had a tragedy. We took 1 month off, but during the 3 months that we were on, I was done. I had my book out there, and what a thrill to have a person look at me and go, I didn't know you're an author. It's a door opener. It's getting the one thing that only you can produce or give or make useful to other people, or to entertain or inform. You're the only one who can give that exact blessing to the world. So I recommend that if you have something in you you think other people should know or hear or enjoy, to go ahead and get going on that course. My husband will guide you no matter where in the world you are, no matter how new you are to all this, because I've never written a book before. I've never done all these tech things, and now I actually know how to set them back up again. All of this is happening at age 62. I'm still doing the things that I thought were important during those years when I was also picking up my kids from school and delivering them to after school babysitting, when they were the babysitters, etc. I just had all these little scribbled scraps, in my bag, in my purse, of things that were important to me. And he dragged me by the ankle into an arena where I can actually make a difference. And so for me, transitioning from being needed, which was really important to me, to being needed by those younger than I am, those less experienced, to now providing something that other people do need, who are all different demographics all over the planet, with all sorts of pain points that need to be addressed. It is so exciting. And I am very glad that we can shop on Amazon and we can talk to each other from computer to computer or screen to screen or whatever, and check things out and find something that is helping us to achieve our goals now that we're both in our early 60s and we're heading into yet another stage of life. So I'm just encouraging you to, shop selectively and to um, make your choices knowledgeably and use this huge mega platform to find, what's going to motivate you. It's sometimes a scale with numbers on it because it helps to quantify things. And it might be some technology that you're not used to, not comfortable with. But the last thing I was thinking of is that a gentleman who loves to work in a great big shop and he loves to do physical labor. He is also going through empty nesting, and they are already grandparents. And he is writing a book. And he's writing several books, and they are children's books. And so here he is getting sawdust and greasy and making things that are very physical, but he's also wanting to write children's books that he can watch his kids read to his grandkids and be passed on. And he is the only one that can write those stories because it's from his imagination. It's also from his life expertise. So, hey, write that book, the one that's inside of you, write it on the outside, put it out there. You can do that right now. Anybody can publish their book. And if it isn't exactly what you hoped it would be, then write another one. Just keep that flow going for your family, for your future. If you're having a hard time with the empty nest syndrome, you can put it into words and you can put it onto screen and you can record yourself, even if you're like me and you were like, that's not what I do. So I know what some of you are like. You're a lot like myself or like my husband. And there are great tools that are available for you to do what you want to do. And so I'm going to sign off by saying, yes, I am writing another book. I've got it almost ready to be reviewed by some other people. And I always sign off one of my podcasts by saying, I am the aging enthusiast.